most great founders have a very clear spike. They are not great at everything, but they're really great at something, and then they leverage that. So that's number one. Number two is they have a ton of drive. And drive is very different, I think, from passion. I think passion is important. It's great with passionate people, but we all know a lot of passionate people who never get anything done. So passion in itself is not enough. Drive is more, yes, you're passionate, but you also have that combined with raw ambition and the ability to execute. So can you see that people have moved things forward in the past, achieved difficult things, hit milestones, and are they really ambitious about solving an important problem and doing something really big? So that's number two. Number three is grit. Right? Great founders never give up. Right? They just keep on hammering.
Absolutely. We're not looking to use AI to replace lawyers. I mean, lots of fun and games in the press about that, right? New technology like this comes out and our knee-jerk reaction is to go full force and just, replace all lawyers. No, it's not going to work. But there's a whole bunch of high volume, low value, repetitive work that lawyers do every single day of the week.
We had a really deep conversation one day and say, well, what do we do if one day, let's say social media dropped off the face of the earth? Like, how do we remain a real legacy business and continue to have the impact that we have? And I mentioned it before, it's one of the things that still to this day, it doesn't matter what time or when we read them, when we see the impact that our work has had for a person, I get the same butterflies in the stomach and the same feeling of like, this is the reason why, this is our purpose, and I feel as though a lot of my purpose to be able to do this.
And, the COVID hit. And
yes.
Yeah, I don't think it will happen. Like one day when there's a digital human who could be very lifelike, very intelligent conversations, and they could be agentic, like we could, the digital human interface that we're building could enable a lot of automations in just one screen, right?
This is AI Edge, powered by Microsoft, an unplugged podcast series exploring how AI is transforming Asia's startup landscape. Each episode features candid conversations with business founders and industry leaders who are pioneering the next wave of tech breakthroughs. We'll delve into their personal journeys, uncovering what it takes to build successful ventures and scale and impact in the evolving world of AI. Whether you're creating the next big thing or navigating the challenges of growth, this podcast is your front row seat to the future of AI. So let's get started. Hi, I'm Andrew Boyd. I lead the startup, digital native and venture capital business for Microsoft across Asia. Joining me today, I've got two guests, one in Auckland and one in Adelaide, and both are from HyperCinema. Conrad is the Chief Sales Officer, and Jennifer is the Gen I Creative Technologist and Product Strategist for HyperCinema. So both of you, welcome. Thanks very much for joining. Let's start at the beginning. Really keen to understand a little bit about yourselves and then how that led you on this journey.
Sure, I'll jump on in. Conrad, Chief Sales Officer at HyperCinema. I come from a background in film, television, advertising, websites, digital design. 2-3 years ago, 2022, the team I was working with, we started seeing the incredible leaps forward in visual generative AI and LLMs, and kind of started to saying to ourselves, there's something really special coming together here where you can dynamically create a narrative and then visualize it. And if we could draw in, real people into that and brands and put them together and, generate entertainment on the fly. So, truly hyper-personalized entertainment that wasn't pre-recorded, curated, anything like that, then we might have something pretty special here. And that's kind of been the whirlwind journey.
Jennifer, keen to hear your side of the story as well.
My name is Jennifer Mishtavy. I'm a senior creative technologist and product strategist at HyperCinema. And before this, I was working in ed tech, but I'm a molecular biologist by trade. And so I really dove deep in 2022 within the world of AI where I was working. I saw it as the future, jumped into design and AI, and joined the HyperCinema team in 2024 to deliver the College Football Hall of Fame. And I see it as the future of entertainment, what it means to market to consumers, and just the future of kind of hyper-personalization at scale.
I love the way technology really sort of takes many different areas of what we do and you can apply it together. And you take microbiology, and then you move it into an app that's really about engaging consumers with AI, and you look at that and you go, the application of technology and the way that you as an individual can adapt is just awesome. So thank you for sharing that part of the story. Many companies I see are using AI to kind of optimize processes. It's all about contact center optimization and business process workflow and AI agents and all of this kind of things. What I see with HyperCinema is that you're using it to craft emotion and the story and the engagement. And how do you think storytelling is so different to the largely commercial users of AI use today?
Yeah, I'll give you a first one on that, and then Jen will have something great to say, I'm sure. But there's a lot of AI use for efficiency, but we saw an opportunity to create more, rather than spend less. So, AI is ultimately all about scale. That's what it's so brilliant at. But the scale here at work is that we're able to create unique experiences for each guest, right? So that's the scale that was never possible before, that you could come into a venue, come into an experience and have something on brand, amazing, surprising, crafted just for you. It's kind of using that enormous scale to create something that's very kind of intimate and personal for you, and we think that's really exciting.
Yeah, I just fully agree with that. I think the ability to kind of tap into the beauty of AI hallucinations and bring it to people at scale in a safe way and tell stories and engage people and bring them into worlds they otherwise would never have been in and they can see themselves in and really engage with. I think that's kind of where we sit. We do automation, we do all of that, but the goal of what we really craft is high-end creative and pushing that narrative forward at scale.
And that experience, an immersive experience that's unique and personalised is the future.
You think about the scale, right? Somebody walks into a venue. To have hundreds of people a day walking into a venue and sit them down for an interview, each person, and whisk them off on a photography session, have a director, film a scene with them, do the post-production, Foley, narration, produce a unique short film for them. You just couldn't do that at scale. There's nothing practical about that. But to be able to have, very talented creative people kind of set the territory for that creative and then have it kind of uniquely generated for each guest as they walk in the door, that's something that's possible now. And we think that's a kind of a new type of creativity, a new kind of art form that's really exciting.
And I'm yet to experience the College Hall of Fame, but I have seen it and seen many videos on it and discussed it at length with the team. Yeah. But Jennifer, would you talk us through that experience and a bit about how it came about, but how individuals experience that in Atlanta at the moment?
Yeah, so it was a true labor of love from the team. We worked alongside creative principals and the producers group to bring this to the College Football Hall of Fame. And so basically you enter and we have you go through a capture system. So that takes multiple images of your face and you answer questions that are personalized to you. So your favorite team, what you like to eat, where you live, et cetera, et cetera. And that kind of sets the stage for the entire immersive experience moving forward. So you've got an RFID around your neck so you can tap into each of the 14 touch points. And basically, when you tap in, you're able to see yourself in all different facets of what it is to be within college football history, and also within, what it would be like to be a college football hero. So you go through and you see yourselves in the 1920s at a game. You go through and you're at a tailgate in the 1980s. And then with the approval of the College Football Hall of Fame, we were able to take a Freeburg paintings and really put you into the history of college football, where you see yourself with each brushstroke. So we're able to recreate the actual paintings and you're able to see yourself in it. And that's something people probably have never experienced before. And then as you make your way through, you see yourself as a college football superstar and what it would take to be there. So bulking up and eating your favorite foods. And, it's a fun and lively experience. So there's a little bit of humor to it too, because you've got these huge plates and, there's laughing and people are really excited. And then, you make your way through and you're weightlifting and you're seeing yourself doing things you probably would never do. At the end, it culminates with you walking through kind of of like the tunnel towards the Jumbotron kind of like field area. And your RFID is triggered automatically as you walk through, and boom, you see yourself up on that Jumbotron. Like, you wouldn't ever see yourself as a football star. Your stats are up there, your image. I mean, everything you could imagine you would see in a real Jumbotron as those players are coming out and as you're on the news. So it's a really immersive experience and something that, you know, you just wouldn't get that type of fan engagement elsewhere. It's a next level experience.
It
There's
really
this great
does sound amazing.
double take moment when people walk out onto that field and they're not expecting it. They just hear the music start up and they hear the colour commentator. You know, it's dynamic narration generated for each person. Debuting for the Atlanta Falcons, Andrew Boydie, you know, and it's just, and the first thing is the phone's out, arms are in the air, and it's quite special to kind of be put through the looking glass and see yourself as the hero, to see yourself up on the big screen.
You're
is a
just
real kick
cool.
for people.
You're just cool. It's so cool.
Yeah. All right, deal. I'm literally due to be in Atlanta in a month's time, so I'm going, and I will find a way to get a snippet of me there into this podcast. So
Exciting. Yeah, you'll love it. You'll absolutely love it.
So then bringing this experience to life requires a huge amount of work and creativity, and then compute effort and tools and platforms on the back of it. And so how have cloud and various AI tools, not just Microsoft, helped you scale your business and to be real-time, this experiential moments globally?
Yeah, so a few different facets to that, but you know, we picked one of the hard challenges first, which is to do real-time AI in real life, right? You got people there waiting in line, expectations are high, you're representing brands, you know, it's got to be perfect. You got logo fidelity, color fidelity, it's got to be appropriate, skin tone's got to be on point. All of those things go into having a great experience, and of course go into having a bad experience if you don't get it right. Big part of what we've done in creating this platform is, you know, make generative AI able to be used in real-time environments and for enterprise level clients. And so that's about a whole suite of things that we've done behind the scenes to have auto curation, auto moderation, to be able to render skin tones correctly, to be able to serve age appropriate content. And, you know, case in point, at the College Football Hall of Fame, you're dealing with 764 different teams, right, which have huge fan bases and who really care that you get the color right, who really care that you get the logo right. You know, you're representing brands that people adore, and so you've got to represent them perfectly. And so we've effectively got 765 brands to represent in that space, because you've not only got College Football Hall of Fame, but you've got every team in the US that you've got to represent perfectly. And so there's a lot of smarts behind the scenes that go in to be able to render, you know, all of those colors and all of those logos and have it so that when you're putting together the guest and the brand in this, you know, new media that's never existed and it's generated on the spot, both of those things come together perfectly. In terms of the Microsoft Azure partnership that we had on this project, Jennifer, do you want to talk about that?
Yeah. So, I mean, as you're walking through the experience, you need on-demand GPU usage, and it's just, there's no bargaining. You just need it, and Microsoft was able to deliver that. And also, you're dealing with sensitive data, so it really is important to our clients and to the guests of our clients to make sure that that data is safe and secured in the cloud. It's been a really great experience to have Microsoft there to help us keep our customers' data safe and also the experience going.
You know, with Microsoft providing the level of compute required for this kind of in-person activation, and to be able to provide that anywhere in the world, you know, such that if you've got a slow morning or you've got 100 people waiting at the door, you've got 1,000 people waiting at the door, that they can spin up the amount of GPU compute on demand and then spin it down as efficiently as possible. That's been a big part of it. GPU availability, but also support from Azure. Their team have been, you know, the black belts have been amazing collaborators in terms of this challenge.
I love hearing the other side of the story. I mean, in my role, I get to work with my team and hear all of these stories of when we're trying to do these things and we're working together late at night trying to stand everything up and create this massive experience, and then to see it at the other end working and the back end technology servicing it seamlessly is great to hear. So
yeah, and that there's customers at the end of that having a delightful time and not waiting.
So where's the future for this? So this immersive AI-driven experience is here, and now consumers' expectations have been set. So where do we go from here? What's the future, do you think, Jennifer?
Yeah, so good question. I think the idea going forward is to kind of push the boundaries of what hyper-personalization is. As a person goes through life, their preferences change. It could change. 1 minute I might like something, and then 2 months later I like something else. So the idea is, how can we re-engage and create lasting memories as a person evolves? And that is through adaptive storytelling, allowing people to re-experience something and have it be similar but very different at the same time. And so that just creates unlimited fan experiences, unlimited immersive elements to any kind of component of what we do. And then also, how can we push that not just to live venues, but also digitally? And where does the customer interaction end with your brand? And how can we keep it going and keep memorable experiences with them, even when they're no longer in the venue?
Amazing. I can't wait to experience it. And Conrad, what does that look like from your world?
The idea that this is dynamic entertainment that can be ongoing throughout the venue, where the venue can kind of understand you and your experience can change with that, and that when you go away and come back, it can not only be different, but it could continue, that you could pick up your experience where you left off, is really exciting. I think the quality of media and the variety of media that we're able to offer just gets, better, faster, more incredible by the day. I see us moving more into 3D. Obviously, we live in a 3D world, and our digital experiences, our phygital experience should be 3D as well. So some really exciting stuff there. Would people come in and have these amazing experiences? The other thing we can do is offer them a takeaway from that they can have a memento, a souvenir, merchandise from their experience. And I think there's some really exciting aspects to that as well. At the moment we're doing a lot of work that puts you in the scene, but personalization goes beyond your face. This is really what I see as this is about the evolution to hyper personalization, where it used to be that we'd make one story for everyone, then it was would serve you a different story to different groups of people. You go to Netflix and here's a story people like you might like. And then this is really the next evolution, which is we're going to generate you a story that you will like now based on, your context, your mood, that kind of thing. And to be able to, do that safely. And I think, people are just realizing that the awareness is rapidly growing that you can do, the quality can be incredible. The safety is on point. And I think that awareness is rapidly growing, that brands are starting to get really, comfortable because they can see what's possible, and they can also see the control, the safety and the speed that's now possible. So I'm really excited by what we're going to create.
Yeah, can I just add one more thing to that as well, that, the beauty of the Hyper engine is it is an orchestration engine. It's agnostic. We can integrate any tooling, whether it's AI or current industry tooling, to create the best experiences. So at the end of the day, from my perspective, the possibilities are endless, really.
I love it. And where we go as individuals, the personalization bar and the immersive experience is being set, then it will continue to grow as we get to benefit from these unique new experiences wherever we're at and engaging. So I'm looking forward to it. Right, I have one final question for you both, if I might, unprompted. You're in an amazing scale up, taking the world by storm from Australia and New Zealand. What would be one personal highlight that each of you could share with our audience about the journey?
After you, Jen.
Oh, wow. Okay. That's huge. I think biggest takeaway from all of this for me, and the most exciting component, was just seeing the College Football Hall of Fame go live. I think a lot of people didn't believe it could happen, that you could cultivate an AI experience in this way and really control it in a safe space and allow it to also be something novel and experimental at the same time. And so just being a part of it and grinding to get it up and running and then watching people enjoy it is probably, and will continue to be, the best experience from it.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Thank you. All right, Conrad, bring us home. Beat that.
For me, just seeing people's reaction to these kinds of experiences. So to be up above, looking down on the field at the College Football Hall of Fame at that Jumbotron and seeing guests come out and kind of realise that it was them up on the big screen and seeing them lift their hands in victory. Just that spontaneous reaction of joy, that for me was the kicker. To be there and see that reaction to it live was great.
Awesome. Incredible amounts of hard work and dedication have gone into building it. So I'm so pleased to see that you both enjoyed that moment of seeing it come to reality.
Yeah, thank you.
Hey, thanks, Andrew.
Thanks for tuning into AI Edge by Microsoft. If this conversation sparked new ideas or insights, follow and share to stay connected to the pulse of AI innovation across Asia. Until next time, keep leading, keep building, and stay curious.